Hey everyone, welcome
This is
to
part one,
podcasting.
the interface. In this class, we're going to focus on
and in this
everything
class
you
we're
need to
going to
know
talk
to
about
become a
everything you need to
master
know
of
in order
Ableton
to
Live 11.
record
If you're brand
and
new to the
publish
program, we're going to
your
learn
very
every
own
aspect of
podcast.
how it works.
We're going to
If
spend
you've
the
already
majority
used
of our
another
time
program,
talking about
I'll
the
walk you
different
through how this
recording
is different.
situations
But if you're brand
that
new,
you might
don't
find
worry,
yourself in.
I'll get you all
We'll
up to
start by
speed
talking about
on how to
microphones,
use Ableton Live
and then
11
about
for professional music production.
setup,
Let's dive in.
computer, hardware, things you're going to need in order to get your podcast sounding the absolute best. Then we'll move on to kind of the 4 different recording situations that you might be in. The first is recording a single person in a room. The second is multiple people in a room. The third is multiple people in multiple rooms. And the fourth is multiple people on opposite sides of the country or different geographic locations. There's actually a way to do that and still make it sound really top-notch and super pro quality. After we through all that, we'll talk about how to use the various publishing platforms to make sure that your podcast gets on all of the main platforms like Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Amazon Podcasts, and all of the major distributors of podcasting. So it's a fun, relatively short class. It's going to be a whirlwind through some audio fundamentals to make sure that you're getting the best quality sound. But if you watch, we should have you up and running to be making your own podcast that compares with the quality of the top podcasts out there in a few quick hours. So let's dive in and let's get started. Because it's just a good free program. It's simple. It's not going to let us do as much stuff as we can do in another program, but it's good and simple. So I'm just going to set my input here. Okay, so let's go through one more time our hardware setup. So what we need to do is we need to have our microphone plugged into our audio. Okay, so now that we've recorded all our dialogue that we need, there's a handful of things we can do to kind of spruce things up a little bit. First, let's talk about music. Now, when you're using music, okay, I want to show you a trick in case you are dealing with a noisy recording and there's noise in the background. There are some ways to get rid of it. Somewhere, even like your Google Drive, and then you distribute text out to everybody, all the different services. That has a few drawbacks.